But there, I don't suppose I should really care for it when it came to actual practice. It would be so ghastly dull and depressing in the evening, when your lamp cast uncanny shadows on the paneled walls, and the echo of distant feet rang through the cold stone corridors, and now drew nearer, and now died away, and all was death-like silence, save for the beating of one's own heart. We are creatures of the sun, we men and women. We love light and life. That is why we crowd into the towns and cities, and the country grows more and more deserted every year. In the sunlight, in the daytime, when nature is alive and busy all around us, we like the open hillsides and the deep woods well enough. But in the night, when our Mother Earth has gone to sleep and left us waking, oh, the world seems so lonesome, and we get frightened, like children in a silent house. Then we sit and sob and long for the gaslit streets and the sound of human voices and the answering throb of human life. We feel so helpless and so little in the great stillness when the dark trees rustle in the night wind. There are so many ghosts about, and their silent sighs make us feel so sad. Let us gather together in the great cities and light huge bonfires of 1,000,000 gas jets and shout and sing together and feel brave. Harris asked me if I've ever been in the maze at Hampton Court. He said he went in once to show somebody else the way. He had studied it up in a map, and it was so simple that it seemed foolish, hardly worth the 2 pence charged for admission. Harris said he thought that map must have been got up as a practical joke, because it wasn't a bit like the real thing, and only misleading. It was a country cousin that Harris took in. He said, "Well, we'll just go in here, so that you can say you've been, but it's very simple. It's absurd to call it a maze. You keep on taking the first turning to the right. We'll just walk around for 10 minutes, and then go and get some lunch."
This gloom, this surrender to the dark waters which lap us about, is a modern invention. Perhaps, as Cruttendon said, we do not believe enough. Our fathers, at any rate, had something to demolish. So have we, for the matter of that, thought Jacob, crumpling the Daily Mail in his hand. He would go into Parliament and make fine speeches. But what use are fine speeches in Parliament once you surrender an inch to the black waters? Indeed, there has never been any explanation of the ebb and flow in our veins, of happiness and unhappiness. That respectability and evening parties where one has to dress, and wretched slums at the back of Gray's Inn. Something solid, immovable, and grotesque is at the back of it, Jacob thought probable. But then there was the British Empire, which was beginning to puzzle him. Nor was he altogether in favor of giving home rule to Ireland. What did the Daily Mail say about that?
Fame is the thirst of youth, but I am not so young as to regard men's frown or smile as loss or guerdon of a glorious lot. I stood and stand alone, remembered or forgot. I have not loved the world, nor the world me. I have not flattered its rank breath, nor bowed to its idolatries a patient knee, nor coined my cheek to smiles, nor cried aloud in worship of an echo. In the crowd they could not deem me one of such. I stood among them, but not of them. in a shroud of thoughts which were not their thoughts, and still could had I not filed my mind, which thus itself subdued. I have not loved the world nor the world me, but let us part fair foes. I do believe, though I have found them not, that there may be words which are things, hopes which will not deceive, and virtues which are merciful, or weave snares for the failing. I would also deem o'er others griefs that some sincerely grieve, that two or one are almost what they seem, that goodness is no name, and happiness no dream. My daughter, with thy name this song begun, my daughter, with thy name thus much shall end. I see thee not, I hear thee not, but none can be so wrapped in thee. Thou art the friend to whom the shadows of far years extend. Albeit my brow thou never shouldst behold, my voice shall with thy future visions blend, and reach into thy heart, when mine is cold, a token and a tone, even from thy father's mould. To aid thy mind's development, to watch thy dawn of little joys, to sit and see almost thy very growth, to view thee catch knowledge of objects, wonders yet to thee, to hold thee lightly on a gentle knee, and print on thy soft cheek a parent's kiss. This it should seem was not reserved for me, yet this was in my nature. As it is, I know not what is there, yet something like to this. Yet though dull hate as duty should be taught, I know that thou wilt love me, though my name should be shut from thee as a spell still fraught with desolation, and a broken claim, though the grave closed between us. 'Twere the same, I know that thou wilt love me, though to drain my blood from out thy being were an aim and an attainment, all would be in vain. Still thou wouldst love me, still that more than life retain. The child of love, though born in bitterness and nurtured in convulsion, of thy sire these were the elements, and thine no less, as yet such are around thee. But thy fire shall be more tempered, and thy hope far higher. Sweet be thy cradled slumbers. O'er the sea and from the mountains where I now respire, fain would I waft such blessing upon thee, as with a sigh I deem thou mightst have been to me.